All right, it looks like we are live, and I should have my mic on. I did a live earlier on a completely different channel with no microphone. I've been known to do that. I'm Tanya Smith here with Get Noticed with Video at getnoticedwithvideo.com, and I am really thrilled. This is my Tuesday weekly live stream show. And this episode is going to focus on answering a question. And the question for today is, how should I prepare to do more interviews using Facebook Live? So, interviews means that you have more than just yourself as a talking head, right? You've got two or more people that are guests, one or more persons, I suppose, that are guests on your show through your Facebook Live. So, we want to talk a little bit about how to prep you for that. Before I get into that, I want to make sure I say hello and greet my folks. There is Sonia, Miss Sonia. And let's see, Misty. Hey, lady, how you doing? Yay, Tuesday. I know, right? I get so excited doing these. Miss Tanya, it's good to see you there, hun. Yes. So I've got some folks showing up for me live today. I'm just thrilled that you're here. By the way, as I show my short intro video, if you're inside the group and this is your first time giving StreamYard permission, inside the group, you want to go to streamyard.com/Facebook and make sure you give permission to show your comments, your name, and your profile. That way I can acknowledge you. Awesome sauce. There's my friend Michelle. Otherwise, you're going to show up like this, kind of like the anonymous Facebook user. And there's Marcia. It's so awesome to see all of you. So, again, we're going to answer the question, how should I get prepared if I'm going to do more interviews using Facebook Live? What are some things, some strategies, and practical tips that you can use? That's what I want to offer to you today. So as we dive in, or before we dive in, I'll go ahead and share my short intro video and give people a chance to come on board. Again, I'm thrilled to be here with you this fine Tuesday. And we are on every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. So if you need a reminder, just type in the remind me in the comments if you're on my Facebook page or group. All right, I'll be right back. Alrighty, folks. So last week we actually showed you how to do videos like the snippet I just showed you. That's my demo or intro video that I always use. And I use other ones too. So if you missed that episode, you can catch it on my blog at getnoticedwithvideo.com, or you're more than welcome to watch it if you're on Facebook in my business page archive. So I will go ahead and dive in, but first let me acknowledge some more folks. LaShawn, hey, beautiful. I love how your picture just shows those gorgeous eyes of yours. I love that. Awesome. Okay, and then Miss Eva. And Eva volunteered for me to be a guest interviewee if I need. I'm going to share some strategies and some practical tips, but I'm going to surprise her in a little bit. She'll see what I mean. I'm not going to invite you on and put you on the spot like that, but Virginia, hi, beautiful. All right, ladies. So, and I'm saying ladies, but I know I have some gentlemen in the audience too. So thank you for showing up. I am going to address this whole issue of how to get ready when it comes to interviewing. So now what's interesting is that literally right before I came on, my Facebook switched over to the new Facebook. If you have the new Facebook and you like it, I want you to put a 1. If you have it and you don't like it, put a 2. And if you don't yet have it and maybe don't even want it, type a 0. Because I'm curious. I'm curious as to what you think. I'm still trying to get used to that and to decide if I like it or don't like it. But meanwhile, we're going to talk a little bit about this whole idea of interview prep. But for those of you who don't know me, or this is your first time actually watching and joining us, I help service-based businesses, so service entrepreneurs like coaches, trainers, consultants, authors, speakers. I help them to build social influence by using more on camera and live stream video. to market their business and their brand. So I am excited that I get to come and do this every week and talk about practical, simple strategies that are going to fit within your lifestyle and fit within your budget so that you can do more video, because we're not trying to make you into videographers. We're just trying to help you to leverage more video to build your brand. So tonight's topic is about a strategy around Facebook Live interviews. And I want to talk a little bit about 3 tips that I would say are things you really want to think about. And maybe you've never thought about these before. Maybe you've been doing interviews, but you hadn't quite incorporated a system. And y'all know, if you've been watching me for any time, if you're in my community, that it's all about the system, because how you do your systems is how you do life, right? So the better you can get about putting in place different systems, things that will work even when you're not feeling like working, the more you can use automation, the more you can have step-by-step process, the easier things will get. So that is really what I'm gifted at teaching. And I think that it is my favorite thing to talk about. Let's see. Yeah, Eva said, not sure. She just got the new Facebook too. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure all of that out. And Sonia said too, and I switched to the old version. She's like, give me my classic back. Yeah, I got to see if I'm going to love this or not love it. Right now, I don't think I'm loving it, but we're going to see. I'm going to play around with it. It's all about experimenting. So, first of all, why on earth should you even do interviews? You might be asking that because you've seen me do a lot of one on one where I'm just kind of, well, not one on one, but where I'm doing the talking head type of show. And honestly, given my personality and given the way that I do teaching and I love to teach, it is my preference not to have an interview show. So when I used to do a podcast called Snack Size Marketing, even with my podcasting, I would typically be speaking on a topic. I'd be teaching something like I tend to do here. Um, but every now and then I would do an interview. So I would have guests that would come on board and that would speak to a particular topic. And some of you know that I've had guests this past year, even in the past few months, that have come on to help teach different topics, right? That are related to video in some way or into marketing in some way. And Misty remembers, Misty's been with me that long, so she remembers my Snack Size Marketing podcast. But you know, too, that a lot of people, especially when it came to podcasting, tend to do interview style podcasts where they have a guest that comes on and they're talking to them. So I learned, honestly, through podcasting, that was not my gift, that I didn't want to do that all the time. But I do love the ability to have some variety in my live streaming show. I love being able to showcase people that I feel are experts in their field so that we can create these win-win situations. So I made a couple of notes because I want to make sure to stay on track and to give you everything that I can in this. Here's a couple of reasons why you might want to do interviews, even if you are a solo video caster. One, it adds the variety. So instead of just always constantly having you, which is fine because you are the expert at what you talk about, it does give you a little bit of a break from talking. You can ask the questions and let somebody else talk for a minute. So it gives you some variety so that you don't get bored and so that your audience doesn't get bored. It's great to create wins for more people, right? So I don't mind sharing my platform with other people who I know need to have their voices heard as well, especially if I know they're at my level of expertise or above. That's something I want you to be thinking about and keeping in mind as you are thinking about interviewing people. And we'll talk about that in a minute. The other reason I wrote is it can be fun. It's fun to interview people. Some of you have seen, you saw the interview that I did with Shantae Hawkins. You also saw the interview that I did with Laveda Thompson. We had so much fun. We were laughing almost the entire time, but still giving good information. And most of you who attended and were there, you enjoyed it. And the back and forth banter was so much fun. So these are reasons where you might want to consider to do an interview style live stream. because all of these things can be helpful, can be useful. So Misty says, I've not done interviews but need to rethink it. Now, if you're going to think about doing it, that's the reason why I created this particular topic for tonight. There's 3 tips that I want you to really consider. And I took the time to put them in banners because I know y'all are super helpful. I love that you always type these in for me. So I took a little time to go ahead and put them in place this time. The first tip I'm going to share with you is tip number 1, which is invite people who compliment but don't compete. Don't compete with your business. What do I mean by that? So, something that you want to definitely consider as you're thinking about who am I going to invite. So, maybe you haven't thought about it until we talked about it this evening. But now you're thinking, I might want to try to do some interviews. Well, the key is you're not trying to give someone else your audience. That's not the goal of the interview. The goal of the interview is that you have a mutual win-win. So the goal of the interview should be that you're inviting someone whose business or whose topic can complement what you're already talking about and help enhance your audience in a different way than what you do. So let me share with you where this can go wrong. And I've seen this go wrong, and I've had it go wrong in the past. When you invite someone on that is doing the exact same thing that you do, selling the exact same thing, offering the exact same type of services and programs, what can happen, and this is just a reality, is that they outsell you, meaning that you kind of end up in the background. And so now your audience begins to move over to them to get the things, get the services and the training, etc., the products that you were offering. So you just need to take great care, is what I'm saying, and be intentional and purposeful that you are inviting someone as a guest who can complement what you're doing. So let me give you a perfect example of how this has worked well. This worked well with Shantae. Shantae Hawkins is an amazing and gifted profit-driven entrepreneur. She can teach you how to take whatever you're doing and turn it into money. That's what she does. That is not my exact gift. It's indirect for me. So it doesn't compete with me. I teach video marketing strategy. Levada, she teaches Facebook advertising, which is an excellent complement to video marketing, but it's not something that replaces what I do. So if you're thinking back to the people that I've interviewed, think about how that actually complemented. We support each other, so I can promote her programs and services without the detriment of losing money and losing opportunities in my own space. Now, if I were to invite, which I have, I've invited another video marketing strategist. And let me tell you, this is the difference now. When I invited my good friend Lou Bortone, the video marketing guru or godfather, as we called him, I love Lou. And Lou teaches video strategy as well. But the difference is how we go about teaching. Our approach and our styles are completely different. I teach more strategy. And he definitely teaches some strategy too, but he has a lot of technical and YouTube type skills where I focus more on Facebook Live. So we still were able to complement each other without competing with each other. I share his stuff. I share his video marketing courses and programs, and he does share my post as well. And we're able to do that without the competition. So I want you to be thinking creatively as you're trying to identify who could I interview that would complement what I do. And the other thing, thank you. I'm so glad, Tanya, that that's a good tip. The other thing that is important, Jakara, she said that's so good, is that when you're thinking of topics, they should be something that's relevant to your audience. And this is not a number 2. This is still part of number 1. As you're inviting people or trying to consider who you're going to pull in, be thinking about somebody who's going to complement the topic that you talk about. Because it can turn off your audience if you're inviting someone to talk about a topic or a theme that has nothing to do with anything that you've been delivering. So you've been doing live streams every week and you've been doing this for 3 months. And then you bring in someone else who's talking about a totally off topic theme that can distract and deter and turn away people who are just coming to see your live stream for the first time, or even people who have been constant viewers, because now they're like, well, I'm not even sure why I came to this show because I didn't need that particular topic. I needed what, my girl was already talking about. Jakara was talking about this topic over here, and now she has this guest that's talking about something else that has nothing to do with those things. So you've got to be intentional is the first tip, and invite people who complement but don't compete with your brand. Okay, so number 2, let's find my number 2 banner. I'm already thinking about who I can interview. Good, 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 good. Yes. Okay, so number 2 is this. Make it easy and interesting for your guests to participate. So I'm going to tell you because this has happened to me in the past where people have invited me. I used to get invited to these different interviews. And at the time, and you'll feel this way too, if you're a guest speaker or you've been invited to a podcast or to a video stream, you have to be careful about who's inviting you. Because there are times when I've been a guest and I barely got any information about who the business was, what they were about, what we were going to talk about in the interview, how I was supposed to connect, the time, the length of time that I needed to be prepared to speak. Did I need to prepare a topic or did I need to just kind of fly off the cuff and answer questions? Those are the types of things you don't want your guest feeling uncomfortable about. So before you begin to start doing these interviews on your live stream, you want to think about, how can I make this really simple for my guests to participate? Do I map out questions for them in advance? Do I ask them, to give me some questions that you think would really highlight or showcase what you do? That's one of the things that I like to do. Do you send them a notation, an email, which is a good idea, by the way, after you've invited them and you've confirmed that they're going to come, make sure you send them an email that summarizes everything they need to know, that tells them, okay, this is the time limit. So we expect to be on for, 15 to 20 minutes max. You'll get questions live, but I also like to pre-prepare some questions for you. You want to remind them of the date and time. And so one of the things I like to use is a booking system. So I use Book Like a Boss. That's my favorite. You can go to tanya.click/BLAB if you want to try that out. But the really cool thing about Book Like a Boss is that it allows you, and I'll show you, let me see if I can pull it up, but it allows you to be able to basically insert all of your questions, if you want to do that, along with gathering their information. And at the same time, you're also clarifying or confirming what the date is going to be, the date and time. So let me show you what this might look like. Here, I'm going to pull it up for you. Let's see if we can do a screen share real fast here. All right. So this is my Book Like a Boss page. You can kind of see right here. And if you were to select the video interview, which I do by invitation only, when I invite people to be a guest, then I share with them information about my audience. I share with them a short questionnaire. So let's say they picked a date. Right now, I don't have any dates left in July. Oh, I can't show it to you because I haven't opened up dates yet. But when they click on the date, what's going to happen is they're going to get a short questionnaire that they fill out that gives me information, key information about their website link. It tells me how to get in touch with them. It gives me a short blurb and a bio for me to be able to use. And then I also give them directions on how to get me their photo so that I can create a little post that advertises that they're going to be my guest. So these are all part of my system. This is what is important for me to streamline a process and also to make it easy for my guests to join and easy for them to get excited about coming to talk to my group. Right? So this goes back to what I mentioned about the fact that you want to be interviewing guests that are either at your level or above when it comes to the expertise. The reason being is that if you decide you want to interview people who are not quite ready, it can go badly for your brand as well as theirs. So make sure you're fully vetting the folks that you are inviting as guests, that you know or have a good understanding of the quality of their content, that they represent themselves well, even if you have to go and watch other interviews or read some posts on their site, so that you know about enough about them to feel good that they're going to be a solid guest. Ask other people. If you've had people that have referred you to that person as a guest, ask them, tell me a little bit about this person so that I can have an understanding and I can be confident they're not going to get on my show and drop some bombs that I can't control. Because, hey, by the time they get on your show, if you're doing a live stream, they're already live. It's too late to pull it back. You can delete it later, but it's already out there. So these are things that I just want you to really be thinking about. So that second tip again was to make it easy and interesting for your guests to participate. And how you're going to do that is by sending them information in advance. One of the cool things about StreamYard, which is going to be something you definitely want to look into if you haven't already, is in StreamYard, you can click on an invite guest button. It's a plus sign that says invite guest. And then there are options for you to actually send them an email. So you can click on Gmail and it's automatically going to open up an email in Gmail with all the details that they need about the interview. I bet you didn't know that that was there because it's kind of hidden. It's not like real obvious, but that's there. So when you invite guests, you can just click on Gmail if you're using Gmail, and it will pop open everything that they need in an email. You can add to it and edit it before you send it on. It'll give them the link that they need for StreamYard and everything. Tell them what type of equipment and how they need to set up. That is priceless. And it's important because you're making it easy. And the easier you can make it for them, the better it is for your audience as well. So this is so good. Does this platform give us templates to populate the fields of us describing our group members? So no, not necessarily. Not necessarily. And I don't know if I get your question, Victoria, so you may need to help me about that. So you said, does this platform give us templates? So you're creating, what I create is my own templates. Oh, you're talking about Book Like a Boss. Okay, so Book Like a Boss, yes, when you create a questionnaire inside of Book Like a Boss, you can tell it whatever questions, or you can create check boxes or whatever type of fields you want to put into your questionnaire. Absolutely. So you can set it up to where you have a question that says, share your bio. What's your favorite, recipe during COVID quarantine? Whatever it is you want to ask and that you want your guests to fill out so that you have that information in advance, you can put in there. So yeah, I have a guest scheduled for tomorrow. I'm going to reschedule this and postpone. Yeah, you can do so much. This is one of the reasons why I think StreamYard is really awesome and far ahead of some of the other tools, is because it does offer things like that. So the third and final tip, and I'll go back and recap these in a second here. The third one is don't take over the mic. Let me say this again. Do not take over the microphone or the video camera. It's easy for us to do because we are used to doing our own thing on our live streams. Most of us who are just the solo, we are used to it. It's our show. It's our group. It's our audience. We built it up. They know us, and it's true. So you definitely don't want to turn the whole thing over to your guests. But at the same time, part of the reason you're there is to create a win-win situation. So when you ask a question of your guest, please give them a chance to answer it and showcase their knowledge, their expertise, right? I've been a guest on certain shows where the interviewer has asked me a question. They give me like a split second to answer, and then they dive off into their own really lengthy answer. And I'm sitting there like, I'm not even sure why I'm here. That is not a situation or an environment you want to create. You don't want to make your guests feel uncomfortable. The goal is for you to help showcase them. And But guess what? By the way, the byproduct of that is that you also will be showcased too as a gracious host. So ask the question and then give them a chance to answer. And don't always have your own comeback and your own really lengthy answer after theirs. They're there as a guest speaker, as a guest that you're interviewing. So remember to showcase your guests and don't take over the mic and don't take over the video. Yeah, you still want to be, I mean, and you always are going to be because it's your show. But give somebody else a little bit of the platform for a few minutes, or just don't do interviews if that's not really what you want to do. But we have to be conscious of that. It's kind of one of those things like I was always telling a girlfriend of mine who used to speak over people all the time. One day we had a conversation and I was trying to be really PC about it because she asked, and I said, there are times when you tend to just talk over the other person. And how many times we all have that friend, right? And we love that friend. We love them. And maybe that friend is us. But it becomes a distraction. It takes away from the message and it makes you look like you're selfish. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're doing videos. I hope these tips have helped you to start thinking more strategically, especially when it comes to live streams. Podcasts, they're a little bit easier for you to fix because you can edit them later on, and produce the audio, and you can produce your videos too. But when you're doing a live, that can truly impact the way in which people are perceiving you and perceiving your guests that you're talking to. And sometimes it's hard to pull back if you haven't had a chance to edit because it went live. And we know live is transparent. So the tips that I'm sharing with you right now have to do with if you're doing a live, not a pre-recorded video. I am that friend sometimes. Me too, LaShawn. Me too. I've been that friend. And I try to be a lot more conscious of that. And so I just want us to think about that when we're interviewing someone, that it's really about them. We invited them to come and to share the space, share the platform, share the mic with us. So make sure they have that opportunity. All right, so let's go back and I'm going to really quickly let me do a recap. But before I do, I want to share something. This is where I was going to surprise my friend Eva. So I'm going to go back and recap. But before I do that, let me just mention to all of you, some of you, most of you are in my Facebook group at Get Noticed with Video VIPs. So I am super, super excited that next week we're going to start up a next Let's Go Live challenge. It was so much fun last month. I actually have created a surprise video. I'm not ready to share it yet, but of all of our folks that completed videos, because I was so incredibly proud of you. You did so well. Thank you for completing the 5-day challenge. Now it's time to do another 5-day challenge. So if you found that you've been afraid to get on camera, or you haven't put your system together, or you just need a kick, a little nudge to do more live, you want to come on and join us. And there's no special registration page or anything. Just join the group. So come over to Facebook and look for Get Noticed with Video VIPs and join the group. So what I wanted to do really quickly is share a really, really quick testimonial from Eva, who was one of our students in the challenge.
I took the Get Noticed with Video Challenge with Tanya Smith. My name is Eva Jordan Johnson, and I'm the owner of Jordan Travel Enterprise. I'm a group event travel specialist, and I'm wanting to improve my video presence and try to become more confident. And that happened when I did the challenge. I gained confidence. You get support. You get resources. There is a Facebook group. There's group check-in with Tanya, so you get to hear from her. And as I said, encouragement. This is my second challenge with Tanya, and I've also completed one of her courses. I believe it was on utilizing Canva with video, and it was excellent. And so I'm continuing to improve, and thank you so much, Tanya.
So that was Eva. You didn't know I was going to do that, did you, girl? But I wanted to showcase her because I think that it was just great to see so many of you who initially were like, I'm not putting my face on camera, to get on camera. And there's no reason for you to have to do anything spectacular. This is going to be simple, it's practical, it's just step by step each day for 5 days. And I love, love, love it. Yes, it is so, 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 so good. So definitely come. Look at that. You're a natural, Eva, Virginia said. So no need to register. This is a good point. There is no need to register. All you need to do is show up in the group. And if you're in the group, you're going to get communications from me starting next Monday. Actually, we'll start sending communications on Sunday, but Monday, the 13th of July is the next one that we'll do. So just be in the group and you'll see the communications. And I'll also send out an email to those of you who are on my email list that is specific to the VIPs group. So if you're not on that email list, just let me know. Look at that. Congratulations, Eva. You were awesome. Yes. Yes, you were, ma'am. You did so well. So I'm so proud of you. And I just wanted to showcase that testimonial and make sure that you know Sonia is ready. Yes. So those of you who are really just, you've been struggling with it, it's free to join right now. So you need to get in while you can. Come on over to the group and just come to facebook.com/groups/get noticed with video VIPs. Or an easier way is getnoticedwithvideo.com/community. All right. Meanwhile, let's go back and we will and if you're not on the email list, inside the group, there's information on how to do that. There's an announcement at the very top of the page, but I'll also make sure I send that to you personally for those of you who I see are saying you're not on the email list. All right, let's recap what we talked about today. So, the 3 tips. First of all, when you're preparing to do interviews, invite people who complement but don't compete with your business. That is key. So be intentional about who you're inviting to be in your space and to be on the stage with you. Number 2, make it easy and interesting for your guests to participate. You got to make it simple, or else they either won't show up, they won't show up on time, or they won't be at their best. And you want them at their best because they make you look good and you're making them look good. This is a mutual win-win situation. That's the reason why you're doing the interview. And then the third tip is don't take over the mic. Share the microphone, people. All right. So I hope that these have been helpful tips for you. And I am just thrilled that I get a chance to actually spend some time with you next week. And I know I saw it, Pat. I caught it. Victoria says she is ready this time. So I'm going to see you all next Monday. But until then, definitely take these practical tips and strategies we've talked about for interviews and get ready to apply them to your own business. And I want to see what you're doing with your live stream. So on Wednesdays, we share in our group. So in our community, if you want to share links to your different videos, no, I do not have time to take away from my customers and my clients to go and watch every single video and give feedback, but I do when I can, for sure. I want us all to kind of crowdsource and to encourage each other. And if you catch a link that seems a little interesting to you, so make sure when you're sharing in the group your links in the We Share post, share them under the We Share post. That's rule number 1. Number 2, share a line or two about what the video is about. That way, others can decide if they want to watch it or not and provide some feedback and some commentary. Okay. All right, y'all. I am looking forward to working with all of you, with each and every one of you. And thank you to LaShawn for that comment. You all have a wonderful evening. You're welcome, Tanya. Thank you. Thank you. And I will see you actually on next Tuesday, if not before then, because you're going to be part of the Monday group and you're going to be checking in for our day 1 of the 5-day challenge. So looking forward to seeing or hearing from you in either situation. For those of you who are not on the email list, I'll make sure in the group that I share that post again so that you know how to get signed up. All right, take care and have a good evening and stay safe.